Welcome back to Racing with Jesse Rosinski. Happy Tuesday to you guys again. Sorry, had to catch up with all the stuff I didn't get to watch over the weekend. Hannah's birthday was Saturday, Mother's Day was Sunday. So, Saturday was her, and then we're all hanging out with her mother on Mother's Day on Sunday. But I had a lot of racing to catch up on yesterday and wrestling for the other show. So, had to do it today. But again, should be back to the regular schedule next Monday because no more birthdays, Mother's Day or any of that. I know her brother's coming up, but regardless, thank you for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend and got to do some cool stuff if you're in the Wilmington, North Carolina area or anywhere, but please go to Sweet and Savory if you're anywhere near there. Won't let you down. Good food. But it was a good weekend of racing. There was some good stuff. There was, some of the regular, idiotic stuff that you would expect, but Supercross, you got to see the normal people taking falls, people making just dumb moves. Like, I don't understand why the one driver, and if you watch the Supercross race there in 450s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When I had no idea why he even made that move, but whatever. It's on him. He has to live with it. And championships were finally won. F1, again, inaugural Miami GP. Track to be able to facilities, but I think they need to do some changes with the tracks and stuff, but they put together something good. And again, it was the first one. So, you're always going into the unknown with that. And then NASCAR had, some good action there in Darlington across 3 series. And I got a lot to talk about that when we get to it. But first, let's get to MA Supercross, Salt Lake City at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Everyone was there to close out the season. The 250 East and West and the 450s. Not going to do the normal breakdown because there was some idiocy that happened, but good, congratulations to Christian Craig for finally, it took him to the last race, but getting the 250 West Championship. Hunter Lawrence, you look good. He had a great season, really good finish. And there's always, next year, but he looked really good at the end. Yeah, congratulations to Christian Craig because, to hold him back with how he was running at the end, he had to keep running good. So good on him. Hunter's brother, Jet, I don't know what his problem is with going down, but he kept doing it. God, do better than that if you're going to want to compete, like, seriously. And luckily he was so far ahead, like, didn't make a difference. I mean, to be able to move up or anything, like, you got to figure that out. You got to figure out that, like me and Walter always talk about, that fine line between, aggression and, sanity and just not overdoing it. But he kept going down, went down a few times this past weekend. Thankfully, he already had the title locked up, and good job. Tomac locked up the championship last weekend for the 450s. But that moves me on to the guy that, made a dumbass move to try to finish there. Barcia. Like, he deserved more than what he got. I'm sorry. Like, when we heard, I shared the post-race interview to the Facebook page. If you're not on there, go on there. Same name as the show. And, like, I'm sorry, like, that he deserved the boos, penalties, everything that he got. Like, Malcolm Stewart went around you clean. And I get third place in the championship was online, but Malcolm went around you clean. Anyone that watched it, this is anything different. Like, he came straight down and just drove into him. He drove the jump, didn't try to brake, and just drove right into the side of Malcolm. His leg was there, son. And he caught him and injured him. Like, that could have been a lot dumber. You got to do what you got to do to get third in the points. Yeah, then they penalized you 10 points, so you lost by 2 anyway because you're an idiot. You just got more. Like, just T-boning the guy to get him the hell out of your way because you can't get around him is not the way to do that. And I was glad. I'm not normally one to be happy when they penalize people and push their, push it. But when it comes to that, I mean, racing incidents, when someone just gets in there too hard and, still tries to make the turn, they just connect, whatever. When you just drive straight into them, don't try to turn, don't hit your brakes, anything, like, you deserve a lot more than 10-point penalty. And I'm very happy that Justin Barcia fell to fourth. And good on Malcolm Stewart because all the stuff he went into. And again, I like him. I'm a fan of him. But regardless of me being a fan, like, anyone just driving in there T-boning someone on the bike, because, that he could have just drove in and done damage to Malcolm. It could have took him out for a very long time. Doesn't take much, especially with how big those things are, how fast they're going, how much weight there is. I thought it was a dumb move. Justin Barcia deserved to finish way worse than fourth in the championship. He's an absolute idiot for doing what he did. No one's going to change my mind. Sorry, that was dumb. If you condone that, you're actually really dumb. And that's all I'm gonna say for it. You keep going on. But good thing Tomac got it locked up. Jason Anderson looked good again, but he was just too far back. It was too little too late after having so many, run-ins with people at the beginning, which is what hurt him. If he kept doing it. Didn't keep doing that. Again, like he was up at those last two with Malcolm. Again, they were racing incidents. Now, the last one, Malcolm stripped, got him back. Not, as big a fan of that, but that was after he got, taken out 2 straight races, which is why he was way back there in third. And Anderson was so far back from it. It wasn't a guy passing him clean right before that, him just taking him out. So there is a very fine line no matter what anyone says about that. So good on Malcolm Stewart. And he had a good year. So did, Anderson and Tomac. And as long as Anderson and Stewart say, Anderson just needs, figure out his fine line too. But he'll be a contender for it next year. Again, it was all those tangles with people that ended up costing. It wasn't racing on the track, even though it was racing on the track. But still, good time altogether. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Formula One Miami Grand Prix, the inaugural one. There's a logo there. There's the track map. I thought they did a phenomenal job. And just to think that they go from, turn 16 over there, if you're looking, watching the video, all the way down to turn 17. I mean, they were hitting over 200 going in there for them to be able to shift down and go through all of that. Like I thought they did a really good job getting everything together. Could some things be different? Yes, but there are 36 designs that they went through before they settled on this one. Different surfaces, they could do different stuff. Again, you have to do the actual race to figure it out. And, depending on whether, there's just so many different factors, but I thought they did a good job for their inaugural 57 lap event. Thought they did a good job with the track and the facilities to make it look like a normal F1 track with everything they brought in there. So kudos to them. I'd go down there and see it. Hannah said she'd go down there and see it. It was a shame to see the Red Bulls have that like 6 mile an hour advantage, on the straightaways. And Charles Leclerc had the lead for a whole match. Once Max got by him, Verstappen, like it was over. Like he just drove away. It wasn't even really a race past that point. He just drove away, which sucked because, it wasn't super, good racing like we had seen a few of those races. And, even in times before Max had, car issues now to fall out, like there was good racing and he was just gone the whole time because of that advantage, which sucked. But, it's one of those things. Everyone's going to figure it out sooner or later. It's still early in the season, but that sucked. Sucked for Mick Schumacher missing his first points race in F1 by so little. But, I mean, Vettel did come into him, blow half his wing off. I mean, these things happen, but he was right up there ready to get it. So that was a good thing for, Haas. The American team running in America, I mean, they're both right up there. Stupid things happen, nothing you could do about it. But it did suck. It would have been nice to see Mick get his first points in F1. But, the way he's running and all that, I think, it's going to come sooner or later. It's just, it's going to take time. Again, get through some bad luck. Look what his dad did at the beginning. Look what happened when he went to the super team of Ferrari, how bad it was until he finally, figured it out. And look how dominant he was there at the end. So it'll take time. I have faith he'll do it. It just sucked that it happened the way it did. There's very few safety cars to keep everyone, so everyone was strung out. It didn't compress people very much, which, sucked for, the racing aspect. If there was racing deeper in the field, it's just, anywhere really, there wasn't a lot of it. Pit strategy was a lot, but the few safety cars, there's a lot of red flags all weekend, just didn't help anything because everyone was so gone. Again, Perez, which is Max's teammate, said he had a mechanical issue that kept him from getting on the podium, but he had, I think his issue was on like lap 20 out of 57, so he held on and got a fourth. So hopefully that means they improved on the problem, whatever they were having, because we all know they were having problems. Hopefully that means they fixed it as he got to finish the race and got a fourth. But Red Bulls, man, they have it right now. And if they didn't have bad luck, think of where they'd be right now in all those races with all the DNFs. It'd be a whole different story if they didn't have those problems. We all know it'd be a whole different story if they didn't have those problems. Well, thankfully, they did have those problems, so it's at least semi close. But it's between Red Bull and Ferrari, and tracks with big old straightaways like that, where they have several mile-an-hour difference. That will make a very big difference. But Max got first, Charles Leclerc second, Carlos Sainz third. And did he ever need it after all those, with 2 straight races where he was out on lap 1? So good to see that happen. Perez fourth, Russell fifth, teammate Hamilton sixth. So fifth and sixth for the Ferraris. Yeah, Ferraris. Mercedes, good for them. Again, Russell was ahead of him. Hamilton. And it was weird because when you watch practice and stuff, they were up there, and then then suddenly they looked terrible, and then they were finished fifth and sixth. And we saw the reports of Hamilton saying he wouldn't race if they went after him for wearing jewelry. And I don't think any of that makes any sense. I think he just needs to worry about doing what they say and drive and get it right. But fifth and sixth for the Mercedes. And again, Russell's the only person to finish top 5 in every race. Mechanical issues or why other people didn't, just racing incidents. But good to see them both in the top 6. Valtteri Bottas 7th, Alonso 8th, Ocon 9th, and Albon 10th. And again, if it wasn't so strung out all the time and there wasn't such a gap between some of the manufacturers, it would have been better racing with that extra mile an hour, 6 or so mile an hour that Red Bulls had. It was over. Once Max got up there, nothing that would have happened would have stopped him. Even if there was a slow pit or something, they had the miles an hour to catch him at some point. But I have all the point standings up on the page on Facebook, and it was good. For an inaugural thing, it was good. Again, stuff to work on, but I enjoyed it. I think a lot of people that were there, everyone there seemed to enjoy it. For an inaugural event, I mean, it went off pretty good. There wasn't a lot of ridiculous accidents. The weather held up, and I liked it. Again, you're not me. I fully understand that you're not me if you don't like it. I just thought they did a good job with it, and I'm excited to next year. And again, we have another one this year. Then next year we open up in Las Vegas, which gives us 3, and the sport is growing here. The Netflix series is helping. They can keep getting them aired at reasonable times. That would help. I know they're getting ready to do some ones that really are going to be hard to watch, but and you could do just from wherever they run. But it's good to see F1 getting bigger in the States. Because I've always been a fan of F1 throughout all the years, all the video games, whatever, when I was a kid. And I think they put on a really good product. It's just getting eyeballs on it. And now they seem to be doing that more. So good on them. And I hope they keep growing. Camping World Truck Series, Dead on Tools 200 from the Darlington Raceway, which I wanted to go to. But again, Mother's Day on Sunday. Couldn't go. Mother's Day was more important. Obviously, it should be. So good weekend. Again, if I went, I would have been bummed just from the weather and everything. But anyway, it just looked really out there the whole time. And that wasn't the big one. There was a much bigger, problem that I saw, but I'll get to that in the final thoughts. Matty D's, throwback to Sterling Marlin's Cooler Light theme, won Best in Show, and it deserved it. That was great to see. That was super good to see. I thoroughly went, for the trucks, that was the best one. There were some good ones in the Xfinity. There were some good ones in the Cup Series. Matty D, though, in the truck, that was the one that, so again, I'm a Matty D guy, but I still remember Sterling getting out in the Daytona 500, driving the 40, Silver Bullet, getting out, tugging on that fender just a little bit, which cost him that Daytona 500 because he modified the car under red flag. Well, to see it in a truck, brought something to me, but John Hunter started on pole by a long shot. Parker Kligerman won stage 1, got his first, career stage win, which is hard to believe. So good on Parker. I like what he could do. It's just opportunities in the big stuff that, kills it all. Hocevar wins stage 2. Big wreck. And, stage 3 in the 15, Tanner Gray lost a tire. Again, they were bigger all weekend, but Tanner Gray was out 61 on Chase Purdy. Haley Deegan got in another one. And Austin Wayne Self was involved as well. And again, Austin Wayne Self has had bad luck this year. Haley's had terrible luck. Like anything that could go wrong has gone wrong. But again, it's all learning stuff. And, this is how it ends. Stay down there another year before she moves up. Just try to get her a full year where, it isn't just complete, calamity the whole time, but, another bad one for her. And again, losing a tire. So it wasn't like it was someone doing a bad move, losing a tire. Nothing you can do about that. Tire goes. So sucked, but it happens. John Hunter won, Hocevar second, Grant Enfinger third, Ty Majeski fourth, Parker Kligerman fifth. Good on him. Ryan Priest got a sixth. He doesn't get to run a lot of races, so that was great to see. Zane Smith seventh, Tyler Ankrum eighth, Todd Bodine coming in. I think they went to get to 500 total starts, I believe it is. But see him come in after not running forever to get a ninth. Good on him. Matty D up there in 10th. Granted, Matty D would have been 11th, but Matt Crafton got, disqualified from his fifth place finish because his front end was too low. So that moved Todd Bodine into ninth and Matty D into 10th. But regardless, 11th would have been good for Matty D, and Todd Bodine, with how much he doesn't run, to come right in and get a top 10, regardless of Matt Crafton. Good on him. To see him come back and to actually run the top 10 when he hasn't run forever, that's really cool to see. So love to see that. Stuart Friesen got 11th. Chandler Smith was 20th, which is just mind-altering. Ben Rhodes, again, had issues, 24th. Rush Chastain, issues, 25th. Haley Diggin, 28th from Rex. Matt Crafton, 36th for the DQ. Like all the people back there, a lot of them were from issues. But Kligerman, Priest, Todd Bodine, Matty D out there in the top 10. Good on them. It sucks for Crafton because he doesn't do any of the work on the truck to do, cause any of that. But hey, rules are the rules, and being lower would indeed help a lot. So there's what it is. Nothing you can do about it now. But regardless, it was a good race. Could have been better, but good race. A lot of action. It was good to see some of those guys up there. And again, Parker Kligerman, first career stage win. Great to see him, in his schedule. Priest up there. Todd Bodine in the top 10. Like, it was good stuff. I was happy to see it. The Mahindra Ruxer 200, the Xfinity Series, Ty Gibbs on pole. Shocker. And I'm not going to lie, I did enjoy the Bobby Labonte Interstate Batteries throwback, I believe, from 02. Believe that. I just like that paint scheme. I mean, I wasn't a big Bobby Labonte fan. I liked him, but he wasn't my guy. But that was a great paint scheme. They did a good job. Interstate Batteries, being there to do it all with him, like it fits. It's even better, when the primary sponsor's like, yeah, well, we got it. Whether they're with them or not. Just how many throwbacks do you get to see where the sponsor's actually on there? It's not just their current sponsor looking like the old one, paint scheme and all that. Like, that was really cool. Jeremy Clements won the best, throwback, the Dale Senior, and the old 50, the old Wrangler's car. Jeremy Clements did a great job. I always was a Clements fan. Just that team and everything they put into it and how small they are was great. I loved winning Road America in the rain. Like, there's all that stuff. Justin Allgaier also had a throwback to Dale. Like, there was a lot of good ones in the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. So Matty D was the best in the truck. There was a lot of good ones. Again, I was saying nice things about Ty Gibbs at all. Just saying something, because most of the time I'm just talking about how miserable he is. But good on Jeremy Clements. They did do a really good job. I liked it the most personally, because that's one that most people don't remember. A lot of younger people just think Dale Earnhardt in the 3. So see that many throwbacks too, it was awesome, but his was the most fitting. So good on him. Noah Gragson went stage 1 and 2. He got stage 2 under caution, but Noah Gragson, like, you just think of him, and that's somewhere you'd think he would be good at. Josh Berry killed his whole race, 22 to go, and I don't even think jumped is the way to describe what he did on the restart. He was way ahead of the leader by like a year, but sucks. But these things do happen, and he's got to win. I believe he's got to win. So from Dover, I believe. So it wasn't a complete death knell. It just completely sucked because he was up there running really good until then. Late green, white checkered after Tyler Reddick lost a tire and ate a wall, and Allgaier finally got a win. I think he was on like a 40 race drought. With how much his teammates and everyone else is winning. I mean, it wasn't even like he wasn't doing it. He's had so much bad luck, and it's dumb happening there, but good on him. Glad to see he finally got it again. Great throwback to Junior's dad, the Earnhardt family. We got to see, Jeffrey do it to his grandfather or Junior's dad, at Talladega with the 3 with Larry Mack. And then we got to see throwback to the boss man now because he drives for Junior, but to do it to Junior, throwback to Junior's dad, and to get the win on top of it, that was really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, who doesn't like Algar? Like, he's all around a good guy. Really has nothing nice to say about him. Good to see him finally break the streak. I hate seeing people get those big long streaks of losing. Great to see that. But no, Gregson was right behind him in second. Riley Herbst got a third. Great on him. He needed it. Again, he had a lot of bad luck this year, so good for him. John Hunter got fourth, and for Sam Hunter, I believe he was driving fourth. Sam Mayer fifth. Landon Castle got a sixth. Good on him. So he improved, like I said. Brandon Jones seventh. AJ Allmendinger eighth. Austin Hill got a ninth, and Daniel Hemrick got a 10th. And they're all, and again, the color guys didn't look the greatest, but they all look how many of them found a way to be there at the end. So good on them, because they were just, AJ wasn't the happiest all day and all that. So as a team, they were, farther back than we would expect, but very reasonable, respectable for most of them. Ty Gibbs got 16th, Josh Berry 18th, Tyler Reddick 27th. To that tire issue, Jeremy Clements sadly 29th, and Ryan Truex 30th after Clements just straight up. He moved up the track in the last turn, took them both out of top 10s. So the top 10 would have been different if it wasn't for that. But Junior Motorsports dominated. Gregson gets the first two stages. Allgaier wins the race. It's going to be hard to beat them. Like, those guys they figured it out and they're on fire. So it sucks for everyone else, but they got it, and they're always consistently good, but they're there. So good luck figuring that one out. And then the Darlington Raceway gets to see the Cup Series run for the Goodyear 400. And I'll get to my feelings on some stuff at the end. But Logano started on pole. Chase Elliott schemed to honor Jimmy Means, won best in show. Loved a lot of the throwbacks. I think Chase won just, he moved right into the most popular driver, so his fans are going to vote for that regardless of the other ones. We'll say, Denny Hamlin, you got to be a narcissist. What threw back to himself in his Daytona 500 winning scheme from 2016, or maybe I'm just too harsh on him, but throwback weekend, throwback to yourself from 6 years ago. Not everything's about you, bro. But Logano won stage one, easily. Larson went out in stage two after motor issues. Brad ate a wall. Shocker. I know. I think it was, after he spun earlier, he ate another wall, took out Kyle Busch because Kyle just had nowhere to go. And then Kyle leaving his car where he did that one gap in pit road there and just getting out and walking away. And then all that time later, the best excuse he had was, I couldn't make the turn. Sorry. But you went from back there, you made it all the way around the track in the tighter turn B, like 3 and 4 to get onto pit road. Like, you did all of that. I have a hard time believing you couldn't make the turn. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but you made all those turns to get all the way back there. Like, I'm pretty sure you could have. Again, just my opinion. Seemed like a weird thing, but it did suck because he had a good car. Throwback looked great. He got caught up in someone else's idiocy, which does seem to happen a lot. He's just had a lot of bad luck the last couple of years, but he still looked good until he got caught up in Brad's stuff, and Brad just struggled all day again. Hopefully he figures it out soon. Like, again, new team and all that, but it has to be beyond like cars now, because look how good Buescher's doing. Like, got to figure it out, dude. Have to. Team deserves better. You're putting all your money into it as part of it. Like, you got to figure it out. The other guys running that good, you have no excuse. Not even sorry when I say it. Ross Chastain won stage 2, and then drove too hard on the restart and took himself out in turn 2 on the first lap of the right after the went back to green after the stage break. He looked really good and was leading until he just overdid it, and he admitted he overdid it. It sucked, but there's that. Again, he has the win, so it doesn't really hurt him anymore. But he looked really strong, and get good for Trackhouse to have him there just to see what he's doing. He's been up there most of the year. Regardless of everything, Ross Chastain and Suarez have both looked better this year, with Trackhouse. So good on whatever they did. I don't know what they did, but good on them because they look good. Recchi came down. That'd be Recchi Stenhouse into Truex. Causes a big one off too. You could try to say it wasn't him. He came down into him, put him around. And then we had Truex, Custer, both 23-11 cars, Kurt Busch and Bubba Wallace. Chase Briscoe, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, and Denny Hamlin got some damage as well, and Eric Jones got destroyed in all of that. Lots of stuff off of Recchi. Got a good finish in the end of it all with that. But Bubba says he doesn't know what he did to piss off the racing gods. I can think of a few, for being honest. The whole water thing in someone's face, 2020. Like, it wasn't that he did it. He never saw it, and he kept running on it after it was proven. He did interviews where he ran with it. That's the problem. That's a big black eye when it was disproven and all that. But I will say, before that, I don't have the stage finishes. I don't write all that, but he was looking good all day. He was up there. So, good on Bubba. I know. People think I'm crazy. Not under the influence. I'm not like Bubba looked like, I'll give him credit. I can think of some things he did to piss off the racing guys, but during the race, he was up there with the top 10. I think he even got a stage or two, at least one stage where he was in the top 10 at the end of it. That wasn't just sheer dumb luck. He did a good job. He was up there until that happened. There's been times where he's running a lot worse where stupid stuff happened. And it sucks when you have a good car and that happens. But, this week he was doing good. So good on Bubba. No one can say that I'm only mean to him. He deserves it. But he was good. He had a good run going until that happened. It did suck to see it happen. Because when he's running good, I have no problem giving him credit for it. Like qualifying at Bristol in the dirt, I believe it was. And there's been races he's been doing good. There's been some where he's been bad and people make excuses. That's when he was running good and just bad stuff happened. Can't change it, can't rearrange it. There it was. But he was doing good, so it sucked to see that. Logano got the win, though. Tyler Reddick second. Good on Justin Haley finishing third. Congratulations to them on that, because it does take skill to run up there, regardless of how many people are out to get third. Congratulations, Justin Haley. Kevin Harvick got a fourth. Good on him. I think if some of those people didn't get taken out that wouldn't happen, he got a fourth. Chase Elliott fifth. Christopher Bell sixth. Michael McDowell seventh, so good on him. Recchi got an eighth after wrecking all those people. Good on him. Austin Dillon ninth. Tied, Daniel Suarez 10th. Dillon, there we go. Nice things about Ty Dillon finished 12th, even with those people, he would have lost 3 or 4 more spots just from who was in front of him with that wreck. And it sounds like I'm talking down to him, but I mean, a top 20 compared to where he normally runs would have been, phenomenal. He would have had a top 15, 16, I think, if all those people didn't wreck just from the way he was running all day. So, 12th place, good on him. I mean that, but he actually did, good. And again, compared to where he normally runs, top 16, 17 is really good. So good on him to get that 12th. William Byron was 13th, and Harrison Burton finished 14th. Again, if people didn't all those people that went out, Larson would have been ahead of him. There were a bunch of guys that would have been ahead of him, but he still would have been ahead of 24th, which is where I believe Matty finished in the spring last year. I'm not going to piss off the chair and look, but he did good. And I love the throwback. So good for Harrison Burton. Keep it up, and I'll be nicer. It's just they get rid of Matty and they put him in there, and it just has worked the opposite way that everyone was wanting it to. So good on Harrison. They'll even say nice things about him, even with all the people that wrecked. Pretty sure, more than likely, it would have been close, but I think he would have been ahead of him. So 14th is a 14th. So good on him. I mean it. Good on him. Logano in his comments, well, I'm not going to let someone put me into the wall and not, get nothing back. Like, he just ran you hard up top there. I don't even think they actually made contact. And if he made contact with the wall, he barely did, and it didn't ruin his day, and he stayed right up there when it came to William Byron. They barely did anything. That was just hard racing, which Logano always has a hard time differentiating with. He used William Byron's the back of his car as his brakes and didn't even try to slow down. It was kind of like Ty Gibbs and what he did to his own teammate at Richmond, being John Hunter Nemechek in that race. And you got to keep running in, right? Because you barely, if you made contact with the wall or him, it was barely anything. You kept going. You didn't body slam him, put him into a wall where his car was destroyed, and he finished 13th. Like, I'm sorry, that's driving like a whiny little you-know-what. Baby back, bitch, and you know it. Don't try to argue with that, people. I'm not even in the mood. Like, we all know what he did. We all saw what he did. But I will say, again, Bubba looked good till the wreck. I can't give credit. Ty Dillon and Harrison Burton, minus those people wrecking, they still regardless of how it happened, they had good runs and they only got a few spots out of that. So good on them. Hey, I can't say nice things about them. Good on them because they actually did run good and they earned those spots, regardless of people reckoning would they've been as high? No, but did they run good? Yes. So congratulations to them. And really on the weekend, again, I already said congrats to the champs and Supercross, and hopefully Jet learns how to stop going down because sooner or later it's going to hurt and he's not going to be able to bounce right back up. The F1 track facility was good. It can get better. Red Bull's advantage, made it a non-race, and and hopefully Perez, was only a minor problem, or maybe it wasn't a problem. He just thought something was wrong because again, they've had so many problems with Red Bull they can't afford anymore. But the big one, racing was better. Logano was a crybaby. With the big problem, I was there in September for the Southern 500. That place was booming, and to see the whole weekend, the back straightaway grandstands the whole time covered in sponsor banners and not even open with how many people were there last September shows you how bad a shape we are all in. I couldn't go because again, birthday, Mother's Day, there's all kinds of stuff we had to do here. We couldn't go. But to go from where it was then to this fast, like that shows you the problem that we're in. So it's going to leave it at that. It's a damn shame. Beautiful facility. And I saw that hopefully it's just for this race. And then Saturday, then Sunday, like you could tell people were struggling. And that's an area where there's a lot of stuff that really depends on all those people coming down. I mean, they have the truck stop. They have all of that, but they really need that. So hopefully things turn around. But that was really just a damn shame to see. Because again, see where they were in September to now. That was just some depressing stuff. But I'm going to jump off. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, no matter where you're at. Don't forget, follow on the Facebook page, share out all of the audio, all the video, get it out to as many people as you physically can. Send it directly to people, like just help the numbers grow, get it growing, keep growing. Me and Walter will be back Friday morning. And I'm also, again, sorry I'm late. There was so much to catch up on yesterday that by the time I could have, it was already time to, figure out dinner and all that because she was coming home. But be back on the regular schedule from now on. I'll be back Friday. Thank you for watching, people on Good Pods. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to everything. Just share it out. Follow along on all the other platforms. Help me out. And until Friday, my friends, be good to each other. Hopefully I can figure out, the live thing until then, if it actually ever decides to work for me. And peace.